Hey there everybody, welcome to Comiskey Park. This is again White Sox Wednesday, and we made it to the 1st of June on the calendar. Game number 45, as the Sox are now 25-19 on the replay and 25-19 in real life. Just a quick review, the last video we did was with the Yankees, and it was Greg Nettles a walk-off home run for the Yankees. Sox were 24-16 at that point, and they've been struggling after that. They lost the next game to the Yankees 11-3. They got clubbed as Guidry pitched well, and they really knocked out Francisco Barrios in the second inning. Then in the third game of the series, Sox came back and behind Ken Kravick in his first start of the season beat the Yankees 7-1. And then the final game of the Yankee series, that was the final game of the Yankee series. Then they had a doubleheader against Milwaukee on May 30th. And unfortunately for the Sox, they got swept in both games. They lost the first game 4-3. And they lost the nightcap 4-3 as well. On the top of the ninth, Sal Bando hit a home run. And that was the difference in the game. That Sal Bando homer, top of the ninth, did it. They lose it by the score of 4-3. So Sox coming off of a two-game losing streak, like I said, actually a three-game losing streak. No, it's a two-game losing streak, that's right. Being swept by the Brewers, which really did not help their cause. They were expecting to make ground against the Brewers, particularly at home. So now we're looking at start of a two-game set with the Baltimore Orioles, and we'll look at the starting lineups very quickly. I don't have anything, because I'm trying to get this done late on a Tuesday night, so I really don't have anything as far as the Orioles. You know, sometimes I try to do a background story or whatnot, but I did look into the sporting news from '77, and there was a rumor that the Orioles might go to the National League at the time to make both leagues with 13 teams, because in '77 you had the two expansion teams, which gave the American League 14, National League 12, and there was a rumor that the Orioles may go to the National League. I may share that at a different time, but that's just the only thing I found really on the Orioles in the short time I looked at the sporting news. The two issues I have didn't really have a whole lot on there, but Orioles are pretty well famous team, so most people know things about the Orioles that even I don't. All right, let's look at the starting lineups. Again, the Orioles coming to this game 25-19, and it's going to be Al Bunbury in center, Mark Belanger at short, Ken Singleton in right, Lee May at first, Eddie Murray DH, Rick Dempsey catching, Pat Kelly in left, Brooks Robinson in his final season at third base batting eighth, and Rich Dower, second baseman, bats ninth. Jim Palmer and his underwear are on the mound for the Orioles. He is 7-2 in the replay with an ERA of 2.55. Robinson probably hung around too long, and this was one of his last couple of games, I think, because DeCinces was really taking over at the time. For the Sox, coming into the game 25-19, same record as the Orioles. They've actually fallen to a tie for third in the standings, behind both Minnesota and Texas. They're actually tied with Kansas City 4 games back of the Twins. Texas is 3 games back. So these games are crucial to not lose too much ground here. They've got a tough part of the schedule playing the Yankees. Now they play the Orioles, and they're going to play the Yankees again after this 2-game series. So they really need to make sure they don't lose a whole lot of ground here. All right, Ralph Garr is going to lead off in the left. Alan Bannister's at short. George Ortiz at second. Oscar Gamble's in right field. Richie Zisk, I believe this is his first game off of the season. He's getting the game off. Jim Spencer's at first. Royal Stillman DH. Chet Lemon in center. Eric Soderholm at third, and Jim Essien catching. With Ken Brett on the mound, who's been struggling lately, he has dropped to 4-4. And has seen his ERA balloon to 5.37. So Jim Brett's going to try to see about getting himself back in order here. All right, I'm going to bring the old dice tray out again, I do believe. That seemed to work pretty well last time, so we'll see how it works this time. Whether we get Comiskey Park in the background or not may be irrelevant, but we'll see what we can do. All right, Ken Brett is on the mound. Let's see if we can get them all in here. Ken Brett, and leading off for the Orioles will be Al Bumry. So obviously I need to slide this over to get everybody in the picture, both cards and whatnot. All right, and since I've got a blue felt dice tray, I'm going to back to my green D20. So hopefully that will help. This, of course, is advanced only, with one exception. The fielding is going to be super advanced. Everything else is advanced. So if it's fielding, it's super advanced. All right, so Al Bumry, lefty on lefty against Ken Brett in game 45, played on June 1st, 1977, is underway. It's a 1-4 for Bumry against a left-hander. That's a ground ball to short. Handled by Bannister, and that's one away. So good start there for Ken Brett. And I forgot to give the averages. Al Bumry on the replay is hitting .314, no homers and 14 runs driven in. Mark Belanger, shortstop, hits second. He's hitting .164, no homers and 10 runs driven in. 1-5 against the lefty. He's going to draw a walk. So Mark Belanger, you don't want to do that. He's a weak hitter. You don't want to give him a free pass, but they just did. He's a B stealer, so he will be held. Don't know if they're going to try to run him or not. Earl's not big on that with the big guys coming up. I mean, they've got Singleton, May, and Murray, so you're not going to run yourself out of an inning. They're going to go ahead and let the big guys swing away. So Ken Singleton is up. He's hitting .331, 9 homers, 29 runs driven in on the replay. 1-5 for Singleton, and that's a home run chance. 1-4 would have been a solid home run. 1-5, 1-7 is a home run. Anything else, he will fly to right field, and it'll be fielded by Gamble. So 1-7, and it's gone. And it's a 1, so it is gone. 2-run home run for Ken Singleton. Home run number 10 on the replay. And Ken Brett, I said he was off to a good start after the first batter, but that looks like it might be premature. As Singleton goes deep, home run number 10, RBIs number 30 and 31 on the replay. Orioles lead it 2-0. Here's Lee May, the first baseman. He's struggling, .207. Does have 7 home runs with 19 runs driven in. 4-4 off Ken Brett. Ground ball third base X. That's going to be Soderholm. He's a 2-11. So we'll see what Soderholm can do with that. 2-1. That's going to be a base hit. So not a good break there on the D20. That is definitely a single. That's a 16, and he's an E11. And so there's no error on. Oh, where is there? Let's see. Does it get worse? An 11? Yes, it sure does. Oh boy, when it rains, it pours. An E11, a 16 is a 2-base error. So it's a single and a 2-base error all in one shot. So that's going to put Lee May at third base. So give him a single, and then an E5 will get him all the way to third with nobody out, with only one out. The infield's going to have to come in, try to choke that run off, because against Palmer, you don't expect to score a lot of runs. All right, brings up the DH, Eddie Murray, hitting .298, 7 homers, 29 runs driven in. Brett is in trouble and may need relief early. I don't know why I rolled the D20. Don't need that. I'm so used to doing super advanced, I guess. 6-6 against the switch hitting Murray, batting right. 6-6. Oh, that's trouble for Brett. I guess I should have used the D20 to do the split chance, but I'll re-roll it because I don't remember what it was. But it's either going to be a triple or a double. 1-7 is a triple, and it's the 13th, so it's a double. And that will make it 3-0 O's. And Bob Lemon is looking a little befuddled here, as it is now 3-0 favor of the O's. Still only one out. Here's Rick Dempsey. Dempsey hitting .258, 4 homers, 13 runs driven in. 110, ground ball shortstop A. That'll freeze the runner. 2 down. Runner still at second, Eddie Murray. Orioles still up 3-0. Not the patented Earl Weaver 3-run homer, but he'll take it. Did get a 2-run homer. Here's Pat Kelly hitting .236, 1 homer, 5 runs driven in. 1-5 against the lefty. He'll draw a walk. So that'll put 2 on with 2 outs for the old man, Brooks Robinson. And on the replay, he's hitting .188, no homers and 1 run driven in. 5-5. Ground ball shortstop X. That's Bannister. He's a 4E48. 4 and a 6 is going to be an SI1. That's a base hit. That's a 7. E48. Is there a 7? Nope, there's no 7, but it is a single, and it's going to load the bases. So now the Orioles will send their 9th batter to the plate in Rich Dower. Dower hitting .204, 1 homer, 4 runs driven in. Don't Don't know why, again, why I rolled a D20. 4-6. 4-6 is another base hit. Ken Brett might be out of here in the first inning. 4-6, 1-3 is a double. 4-20 is a single. It's a single, 2 stars, so 2 more runs will come in. It's now 5-0 Orioles. 5-0 Orioles, and all the runs are earned. And Robinson, the old guy, will creak into third base. Runners at second and third, still 2 outs, and they batted around. Here's Bumry. 6-8 against a lefty. That's a strikeout. Now, it's got a dot here, but I think, let me check the fatigue factor, because I think you have to give up 6 runs to be tired, but it might be 5. And I'm trying to remember which one is which, so I'm going to the rule book to find out. Remember, we are in advanced, not super advanced, so I need to get the pitcher fatigue and make sure I'm looking at it correctly. Don't expect to do that this early in the game. Let's see here. What's the pitcher? Okay. All right, I'm reading here, and it says something about, talks about once he reaches his point of weakness, but it doesn't say how he gets there. I thought if you give up so many runs, you get the point of weakness. But the heck if I can find it. I don't see it, folks. I'm sure it's there, and it's probably going to, if it was a snake, it would bite me, but I don't see it, and I don't want to hold up the video. So I just don't see it. I don't see it, so I'm going to say he has not. So I'm going to call that a good strikeout, or a good, what was it, 6-8? Yeah, good strikeout. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I don't really care at this point. I'm going to play it the way I want. It's already 5-0, so I don't think I'm really affecting anything. Ken Brett's going to probably only pitch this 1 inning. He's probably going to be gone. Although he just came off a doubleheader, so you'd like to get him some more innings, so he may just have to take one for the team. I just don't know what else to do with it. Can't afford to go to the bullpen this quick. So Jim Palmer's coming out with a 5-run lead. He's the happiest guy around. He probably figures he's got it made now. All right, here's Ralph Garr. He will lead things off for the Hitmen. 1-9 for Ralph Garr. He grounds to second. Hitmen rather dejected. They're in a slump right now. Pitching is letting them down. Fielding is letting them down. And Bob Lemon doesn't know what to do. 5-10 against Palmer. Ground ball, third base X. That's Brooks Robinson. Now, normally that would be an easy play for Robinson, but he's an old man, so now he's ready to. Well, he's still ready to 2E13, so hasn't lost everything. 2-3 though. 2-3. He'll get to it, and that's a 8. And E13 on an 8, I believe, is a good play, and it is. So Brooks Robinson, old or not, he made the play. Maybe not that great, but as Toby Keith says, he's as good once as he ever was. There's 2 down for George Orta. 1-7. 1-7 for Orta. 1's a triple. Anything else will be a single. So that is a single. 2-out single for Orta. And that'll send up Oscar Gamble, the DH. I'm sorry, the right fielder, taking the place of Zisk. 5-3 off of Palmer's ground ball pitcher X. He's a 1E10. A 1E10. All right, E10 and a 15. So let's see what he said. What we've got here. E10 and a 15. There is a 15 right there. It's an error on Palmer. 1 base error on Jim Palmer. So the inning continues. A little sloppy here, obviously, late at night. Brings up Jim Spencer. 1-9 for Spencer, and he's going to pop it up to first, handled by Lee May. Inning's over, and it's a dreadful one for the Sox. They lead it, or trail it 5-0 after 1. You know what? I'm going to ditch that dice tray for now. Go back to my old ways. Maybe I'll get a little karma back for the Sox. So we're going to see what we can do here. Belanger's out there and Brett's coming back out. So he gives up the 6th run. I'm calling him not tired. House rule, if you want to call it that. 6-6. Belanger. 6-6. That's another base hit. 1-7's a triple. 8-20 is a double. That's a triple for Belanger. So even the weak hitting Belanger gets the break of hitting off of Brett's card. So a triple brings up Singleton. Infield's back. They've given enough runs. What's one more? 6-8. 6-8. It struck him out. So one away. I'm sorry, 6-8 was against the lefty, not a righty. 6-8 is still a strikeout, so got it right either way. All right, so Singleton is out of there. Here's Lee May. 6-8 again. We know it's a strikeout. That's the same thing we just rolled. So Brett trying to pitch out of this with 2 strikeouts in a row. Here's Eddie Murray. 3-6 for Murray. Ground ball to first. That's going to end the inning. So he pitches around the leadoff triple. And we go to the bottom of the second. Bottom of the second. Palmer coming out will be facing Royal Stillman. Stillman the DH. 5-4 for the lefty. 5-4 catcher X. That is Dempsey. And Dempsey is a 2-E7. 2-E7. That's a 2 and a 14. He'll get to that. E7 and an 11. Whoops, wrong side. E7 and an 11. There is no 11. It's a good play. Oh, we got to figure out what it was. 2 and a 14 was probably a ground out. Nope, take it back. It's a foul out. So he fouls out to Dempsey. One away. Brings up Chet Lemon. 110 for Lemon, and that's a double. Double to left field for Lemon. And all the excitement of the 5 runs for the Orioles, I forgot to give the batting stats for the Sox. So I will do that their second time through the order. All right, here's Soderholm. 3-8. 3-8 is a ground ball back to Palmer, and Lemon will have to hold. 2 down for Jim Essien, the catcher. 1-11, and that's a base hit. It's not a ballpark check. It's a single to right field. Now the question is, will Lemon score? He was not being held with the big lead. And let's see. Runs at a 14, wasn't being held, makes him a 15. There's 2-out advantage, makes him a 17. Right fielder in this case is Singleton. And let's see, he's got a -1 arm. So the -1 arm will negate the extra bump for being held. So that's going to make him a 1-16. 1-16. They need all the breaks they can get. They're going to go for it. And he's out. Wouldn't you know? That's just the way it's gone. You just had to know that was going to happen. He's out of there. Inning's over. When it's not your day, it's just not your day. All right. So they figured they had a better chance. 1 through 16 was better odds than waiting to see if waiting to see if Ralph Carr would get a hit. So just the way it worked out, or not worked out in this case. All right, so Brett's back out to face Dempsey. 6-2 against the right-handers. Ground ball pitcher X. Brett's a 2-E13. 2-E13. 212, he'll get it. E13 and a 16. E13, there is no 16, so it's good play for Brett. 1 away. Here's Pat Kelly, left fielder. 2-4, lefty on lefty. Ground ball to second, handled by Orta. 2 down. Also trying to get this. There's some storms in the area, so I'm definitely trying to get this in before the storms get here. Here's Robinson, 1-6. Pop up to short, handled by Bannister. And after that first inning, Ken Brett has settled in nicely. So he had a rough first inning, but appears to be flexing his muscles and getting his senses back. It's 5-0 though. Here's Ralph Carr. Let's go through the stats for the Sox since I missed it the first time. Carr hitting .278, 1 homer, 9 runs driven in. 2-7, and that's a 1-18 single. 19-20, he lines to May, and it's a base hit. So Ralph Garr, leadoff single, and down 5-0. You're not going to try to steal. In fact, they won't even hold him. All right, here's Bannister. He's hitting 300, 1 homer, 15 runs driven in. 111, it's ground ball, first base B. It's a fielder's choice, 3-6. As May goes to Belanger. Fielder's choice, 1 away. Bannister, the new runner. It's George Orta hitting 244, 8 homers, 19 runs driven in. 312 for Orta. Line out max, that's the old Lomax. And George Orta bit by the Neil Lomax bug. That's a line out to first to May for out number 2, and then May steps on the bag to double off Bannister to end the inning. So the old Neil Lomax rears his ugly head. And we go to the 4th. Still 5-0 O's. Here is Rich Dower. 1-5 against the lefty. 1-2 is a triple. Anything else, he will fly to left fielder Garr. 7, so good play by Garr. He tracked it down. 1 away. Here's Al Bumry. 1-9 for Bumry, struck him out. Boy, like night and day here for Ken Brett. Good thing we didn't take him out. Here's Belanger, 5-8, and we know 5-8 is a strike. Oh, I'm sorry, it's against the pitcher. It's a line out to short. Again, he's not tired yet, so it's a line out to short to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th. If they can get 5 innings out of Brett, that would be awesome. That would save their bullpen quite a bit. Because like I said, they just played a doubleheader, so they did have yesterday off, so that helped a little bit, but their bullpen had been taxed. So they don't want to have to jump right in and use them for 6 or 7 innings again. Here's Oscar Gamble. He's hitting 289, 7 homers, 23 runs driven in. 3-8, that's going to be a leadoff walk. That's a good way to start, leadoff walk by Gamble. He is an E-stealer. He's not even going to be held. Jim Spencer is up. He's hitting 286, 7 homers, 31 runs driven in. 4-6 off of Palmer, and it's a fly to right. Handled by Singleton, 1 away. That'll bring up Royal Stillman, the DH. 289, 2 homers, 5 runs driven in. 1-7. That's a fly to center. Bumbri's got it, 2 down. So Palmer just breezing along. Here's Chet Lemon. He's hitting 227, 7 homers, 21 runs driven in. 412, that is a fly to left. There's no ballpark effect to worry about. It's a fly to left handled by Kelly. And the inning is over. So Palmer, 4 shutout innings, and he is just breezing along on autopilot as his teammates gave him an early 5-0 lead. And we go to the top of the 5th. And we're looking at Ken Singleton. 1-8 against the lefty. That's a base hit for Singleton. So now the bullpen for the Sox is loosening. Bart Johnson, the righty, is tossing down there. So he could be coming in very shortly. Here is Lee May. 6-5, and that's an in-home run chance, and Lee May does have normal power. 1-10 is a homer, 11-20 is a double, and this is probably going to be it for Ken Brett. It is a 14, which is a double, so he does avoid the home run. But the question is, does Singleton score? Singleton, E-stealer, was not being held. He's a 12, he gets bumped to a 13 for not being held. The double is assumed to go to center, which is Lemon. He's a 0 arm. So you're looking at a 1-13, but with nobody out there going to hold him up at third base. So runners are at second and third, and that's going to do it for Mr. Brett. He goes 4+, giving up 5 runs, all earned, and the 2 on base are his responsibility. So obviously not his day, or not his night, depending on how you want to look at it. And let's see, let's get Bart Johnson out there, the righty. So Bart Johnson is on, and he's got the enviable task of getting out Murray, and then we got Dempsey and Kelly. Infield's going to play, you know what, they're going to be bold and play in against Eddie Murray. 1-8 may not matter. 1-8 is a 1 to 15 homer, and 16 to 20 is a double. So 15, it is 8, it is gone. So there is your Earl Weaver 3-run homer personified by Eddie Murray. You can put the Chesterfields, he never even got the Chesterfields out to start this game. He might even lend them to Bob Lemon for all I know. Probably did. Probably sent a care package over to Bob Lemon because he would pull his hair out, but I don't think he has any. So it's right now it's 8-0. So we can close the book on Brett. He gave up 7 runs, all earned. So rough outing for him to say the least. Here's Dempsey. 5-5 for Dempsey is a ground ball to short, and I apologize for not getting a closer game today, but it's just the way the dice are going. You have these, Mama said they'd be days like this, as the song says. 1-7 is a single, and the hit parade continues. He's an A-stealer, but up 8-0, he's not going anywhere. Here's Brooks Robinson. He will be held just for aesthetics. 4-4. That's ground ball to shortstop X, which is Bannister, 4E48. 4 and a 6. A 4 and a 6 is an SI1, and that's a 12. E48, is there a 12? There is a 12. So it's a single plus an error. How do you like that? So Brooks Robinson, single plus the error. So the single will put Kelly to second, and then the E6 will move them both up a base. So runners at second and third, still no, I'm sorry, there's 1 out. Infield is in for Rich Dower. 6-3 is a fly ball left field X. That's going to be the left fielder, Ralph Garr. He is a 4, E14. 4 to 20, at least he'll get to that. So we know he'll get to it. The question is, does he bumble it, or does he actually make the catch? 4 and a 20 is a F3, which I believe the runner has to hold on that. Yep, so it won't be a sacrifice. Question is, can he make the play? Well, he's a 4E4. I don't know why I said 14. He's a 4E4, and that's an 8. E4, there is no 8, so it's good play for Ralph Garr. And Dower unable to get the run home. It's 2 down for Al Bumry. 2 outs, runners at second and third. Bumry, 5-8 for Johnson against the lefty, struck him out. So Johnson gets out of that mess after giving up the big home run to Murray. 3 more runs come in. It is now 8-0. 8-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. And actually, in real life, both pitchers pitch complete games. So it looks like Palmer will probably hold up his end of the bargain, but obviously Ken Brett did not. All right, here's Soderholm to lead off the 5th. He's hitting 246, 7 home runs, 19 runs driven in. 412 with a fly to left, 1 away. Brings up Jim Essien, and Essien's hitting 312, 4 homers, 16 runs driven in. 1-9, struck him out. So Palmer very efficient, and the White Sox score sheet very clean compared to the mess that's up top. Here's Garr. And let's see, if I didn't mention it, Garr's hitting 278 with a 1 homer, 9 RBIs. 5-6, struck him out. So Palmer just nonchalantly blowing through the Sox here. We go to the top of the 6th, and Bart Johnson's going to have to take one for the team. They need him to pitch the rest of this game. He does have a 4 relief rating, so that's usually a good sign as long as he doesn't get blown away. All right, here's Belanger. He's gotten some breaks off the pitcher hitting cards. They need to get one off his card, and they do. 2-8 finally, struck him out. So if we can get Belanger off his own card, he's out of there. Here's Singleton. 6-9 for the switch hitter against the lefty. 6-9, oh, that's trouble. 1-8's a triple. 9-20 is a double. That is a double for Singleton. So he is homered, doubled, and singled. He needs a triple to get the cycle. And as far as I can remember, I don't think I've ever rolled a cycle on a game before in any board game. So this would be a first if it ever happened. 2-6 for Lee May. That's a solid home run right there. Bold print. 2-6 home run. It is now 10-0 Orioles. And now Lee May has a single, double, and a homer. He's a triple away from the cycle. 10-0. And I'll tell you what, the fans might not even be here when Harry Carey sings. They might already have left. Here's Eddie Murray, 5-4. Switch hitter 5-4. Ground ball third base X. That's Soderholm, 2E11. 2-13. He'll get to that. E11 and a 12. E11 and there is no 12, so he'll make the play. 2 down. You don't know how tempted I was to stop this video and replay the game from the get-go, but that would not be right. So 110 is a foul out to the catcher. So I got to play it as it is and not worry about people tuning out after 2 innings and all that stuff. I'm not worried about how many minutes people watch a video. I'm just playing the game as it is, and whatever happens happens. So back to Palmer. So you can at least see Palmer dissect the White Sox. That's probably worth staying tuned for, to see if he gets a shutout. It's the only drama left. Here's Alan Bannister. 3-6 for Bannister. 1-2 is a homer. Anything else, he'll fly to right to Singleton. And he does. Of course he does. D20 is not going to cooperate today. So there's 1 away for George Orta. 3-8 for Orta. Ground ball to third. 2 away. So even removing the dice tray didn't change the karma. 5-8 against Gamble. 5-8 is a ground ball second base X. That's Rich Dower. And Dower, his defensive rating is a 3 E17. 3 and a 19, he'll get to that. E17 and a 12. E17, there is no 12. Good play by Dower. And again, Sox go down in order, so it's 10-0 after 6 completes. The Ravens 10 and the Bears nothing, if you want to use an analogy. All right, here is Bart Johnson facing Pat Kelly. 4-11, fly ball to left. 1 away. And just, I looked at the box score, I don't remember the final score, but there were no substitutes in this game. No bullpen, no pinch hitters, no nothing. So I'm going to play it like that. No substitutes other than bullpen guys for the Sox to stop the bleeding. 3-6 for Robinson off his own card. Finally got him off his own card and we got him out. That's all you got to do, get him off his own card and he's out of there. He's pitiful. But when you get a hit off pitcher card, he has a chance. Here is Dower. 3-9 for Dower, grounds to short, innings over. So Bart Johnson trying to bridge the gap here and try to at least get him to the 8th or 9th inning, and maybe only have to use 3 relief pitchers in the game would be a goal. But you never know how that's going to turn out. But they can always hope. All right, so with that in mind, we go to the bottom of the 7th with the score: Baltimore 10 and the Sox nothing. I don't even think Harry can help him today. 10-0, that's kind of asking a lot. Here's Jim Spencer. 3-9, and he's going to ground to Dower at second. 1 away. Gonna bring up Royal Stillman. DH, 6-7, lefty. It's a walk. Rare walk by Palmer. It's his, I believe it's the second walk of the game. Brings up Chet Lemon. Stillman not being held, of course. 6-6. Mr. Righty. 1-4 is a double. 5-20, he'll fly to Bumry. And that is an 8, so it's fly ball to Bumry for out number 2. Of course, the D20 is not going to help the Sox out tonight. Here's Soderholm, 5-5, struck him out. So nothing doing for the Hitmen. They are not hitting against Palmer tonight. At the end of 7, it's Baltimore 10, Sox nothing. And Bart Johnson will be starting his 4th inning of work. And that's what his fatigue rating is, so he's going to see if he can't hang in there. Going to be facing top of the order in Al Bumry. 6-6 against the lefty, that's a walk. That's not a good way to do it. So we're going to check his weakness now. Point of weakness, here's Belanger. 2-10 for Belanger. Ground ball to third is the fielder's choice. Oh, you get it off Belanger's card, he can't hit. Here's Singleton looking for that triple. 2-9, he won't get it to strikeout. So no cycle for him. Lee May has a chance to get a cycle, but I don't think he has any triples on his card. Actually, let's see, does he have he's got to roll a 2-10, and then D20's got to be a 1. No, that's not against lefties, so against righties he has no chance for a triple. So there is no, unless he gets it off Bart Johnson's card. If we roll a 6-8, there's a chance for that triple in that cycle. Nope, 1-8, not a 6-8, strikeout. So Lee May won't get the cycle either. So no cycle tonight, but the shutout's still intact. It's 10-0 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. And Bart Johnson still hanging tough. He looks to finish out the game for the Sox to really save their bullpen, as he would end up pitching 5 innings to go with Ken Brett's 4 innings. So here's Essien leading off here against Palmer. 5-8, and that's going to be a ground ball to Dower. Second base X chance for Dower. And Dower, again, is a 3 E17. 3-8. 3-8 is a good play. And that's a 10, so that's definitely a good play. So Essien is gone. Back to the top of the order for Ralph Garr. 3-7 for Garr. All these hits in column 3, and he found a strikeout. Just the kind of night it's been for the Sox, as their woes continue, and they have fallen on hard times this last couple of games. 4-6 Palmer against the righties. A ground ball to Brooks Robinson, letting the old man make a play, and he does it. Innings over. We go to the 9th. It is still 10-0 Orioles. And Bart Johnson's going to try to hang in there. He's facing Eddie Murray. And Murray, of course, took him deep. First batter he faced back in the 5th inning. See if he can't change that around. 4-7 against the lefty. That's a single. So he may have to come out of here. They may have to burn a third pitcher. Here's Dempsey. 3-11 for Dempsey. That's a single to left. And they're going to, of course, play station to station. And I believe that's going to be it for Mr. Johnson. He goes 4 innings plus, and they'll have to go to the bullpen. And they're going to go to lefty Dave Hamilton. So Dave Hamilton is on. Let's get all the rest of these guys out of there. Dave Hamilton, third pitcher. So if the Sox can get out of here just using 3 pitchers, I guess they got to feel fortunate. So Dave Hamilton is on. Lefty on lefty to Pat Kelly. 4-5, struck him out. So Hamilton puts the K on Kelly. Out number 1 for Brooks Robinson. Got it off his own card. 2-12. He's going to foul out to the catcher. So there's 2 down for Rich Dower. 2-7 against the lefty is a fly to center. And so Hamilton comes in, pitches 1 inning, only has to face 3 batters, so he'll be good to pitch in game 2 of the series if he's needed. The only guy won't be available is Bart Johnson. He'll have to have at least 1 day off, if not 2. So last chance for the Sox to at least get the goose egg off the board, but Jim Palmer has other ideas. His fatigue rating's an 8, and of course he gave up nothing, so he's still fully charged and good to go. Here's George Orta. 2-11 for Orta, and he will fly to left. So Palmer 2 outs away from a shutout. Here's Oscar Gamble. 2-2 for Gamble, and that's a single, so he will get the base hit there. They've been few and far between. Here's Jim Spencer. 6-6 against the lefty. 1-5 is a single. Anything else, he will line it to Dower. And he lines it to Dower. So, of course, I don't think a D20 roll has gone in the Sox favor all night. So there's 2 down, and here's Royal Stillman, last chance. 2-5, and he struck him out. How appropriate is that to end the ball game? Orioles win a laugher 10-0 over the Sox. The only mistake the Orioles even made all game was Jim Palmer made an error. Other than that, a very clean game for the Sox. Another error here. I think they only had 1 error, if I'm not mistaken. No, they had 2 errors. 2 errors. One on Soderholm and 1 on Bannister. So 2 errors for the Sox. Let's look at the hits in the game. Well, obviously Brett's the loser, and Palmer, 9 innings of shutout ball, is the winner. He improves to 8-2 now, and he faced 33 batters. When he hits, did he give up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he pitched a 5-hit shutout. He walked 2, struck out 1, 2, 3, 4. Only struck out 4, so very economical job by him. I don't even want to get to Brett's numbers; they're just awful. We'll just do the team numbers for hits. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I got him unofficially for 15 hits. All right, let's do left on base. First for the Sox. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 left on. And for the Orioles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 left on. Okay, so this is the unofficial total of the game. Baltimore wins it by the score of 10-0. 10 runs, 15 hits, and 1 error for the Orioles, with 8 left on base. For the Sox, no runs, 5 hits, 2 errors, and 6 left. Winning pitcher was Jim Palmer. He improved to 8-2. Loser is Ken Brett. He drops to 4-5. Sox dropped to 25-20 on the season. 3-game losing streak now. And the Orioles improved to 26-19. And they'll play their 2nd game of the series and the final game of the series tomorrow on June 2nd. And then after that, the Sox will brace for the Yankees to come into Comiskey. So, again, apologize for the blowout, but sometimes, obviously you can't avoid these things. They happen. Hopefully you at least got a chance to chat and talk about how bad Ken Brett was and how good Jim Palmer was. You saw him roll that shutout, 5-hit shutout. Palmer in the 77 season was 20-11 with a 2.91 ERA. So, obviously very well, and he held up his end of the bargain, and the Sox just got nothing and liked it. So that's going to do it from here on another White Sox Wednesday. It wasn't a good one for the Sox. They dropped to 25-20, and this was so June is not a good start. Hopefully not looking for a June swoon, because June is not a good start for them. Hopefully June 2nd will be better. We shall see how that turns out. I believe I want to say Flanagan is the starter for the Baltimore in the next game, and I believe it is Barrios for the White Sox. So I'll have to double check that, but I believe those are the next 2 starters. So perhaps Barrios can give them a good outing. So until next time, hope you enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And until next time, it's so long from Comiskey, where again the final score was the Orioles 10, Sox nothing. And stay tuned as Dave Gardner and Ron Juckett from Retro Sports Network on Ron's channel, Retro Sports Network. Be sure to tune in and subscribe. It'll be the 1979, it'll be a takeoff on 1979 football, where you have the Dolphins playing the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl in Pasadena. And this is off of kind of tailgating off of a Dave Gardner football game that he got, and had played the 79 playoffs. So check out Dave Gardner's channel as well, subscribe, and you'll get some good stuff from him. And until next time, we will see you all down the road.